Yeah, really proud of the first innings, the way that we batted. I thought that was a real line in the sand for us as a team. You know, it's a lot of new players in our squad, and as you rightly say, there was a opportunity for us to go the other way, and we didn't. We played really well. Senior players put their hands up in Quint and Dean, getting fantastic hundreds. And, to get 400 in the subcontinent is never anything easy to do, So the way we responded there was brilliant. Obviously, getting 400 in that second innings, we felt we were right in the game, and we needed something brilliant in the second innings. And unfortunately, it was close. It was close for us happening. There's a few half chances that didn't go our way. And that's sort of where the game slipped away. We tried to stay in the fight and stay in the contest. But the way that Rohit played, especially in that second innings, made it tough for us. And to put up a score of 400 in the last innings was always going to be a little bit too much. And then obviously the nature of the day 5 pitch today was probably the first time we saw something coming really from the deck. But I thought it was a really good pitch, really good test cricket. First 2 days flat, and then 3 and 4 spin, and then day 5 it goes up and down. So that's a real good test wicket for me.
In terms of your attack and the way Rohit's played with a lot more freedom, especially in the second innings, do you think it speaks to maybe changing a few plans for the next one? Because obviously the amount of runs and how quickly you scored affected whether or not you were able to even take time out to save the game.
Yeah, it was difficult to try and slow the game down. Obviously we're bowling a lot of spin, so pace of play was really fast, and when we've got momentum that they had at that stage, it sort of just felt, you could just feel like it was really difficult to stop. From a combination point of view, it's difficult to say. If you look apart from today, seamers didn't play that much of a role in this test match. The seamers, 1 wicket, 2 wickets maybe in an innings. They played a holding role more in the first 4 days. So whether extra seamer would have made difference, I'm not sure if it would have. Definitely day 5 we saw that there was huge value in the seam, obviously the up and down. But that is something for us to consider now, moving into the next test match. What do we feel is our best opportunity in getting 20 wickets? Because that's what you need to win test matches. And obviously we couldn't do that in this test match. Couldn't bowl them out. So that's something that we will definitely look at and try and see how we can counter that.
Finally, Owen debuted something in a way that he's handled himself in the last 5 days.
Yeah, he played unbelievably well. I mean, you can see technically he's very sound against spin, which is obviously something that he's worked really hard on. I haven't seen much of him personally over my career, but great to see that he offers us balance. Obviously bowls a bit as well, so that helps. But just batting in at number 7, 8 position is always something we're looking for as a team. Batted with real maturity, and both innings. He still hasn't been out in Test cricket, so making it hard for us not to look at him, even picking him, leaving him out in the second Test. He's putting in the numbers on the scoreboard, which is what we want. It's not easy to get runs, and he showed that he's got the technique to get through the challenging spin conditions. So that's a huge attribute to have for this Test series.
In asked before about the third place bowling option, but how will you? Are you slightly handicapped by the fact that you don't have the all-rounders you had in the past? So that if you bring somebody, the batting is a little weak. Do you think that is an issue?
Yes, it is. It's been an issue for a while, and we've managed to work around it when conditions allow us for it. South Africa, we play either 7 batters, 3 seamers and a spinner, or sometimes leave out our spinner and play 4 fast bowlers. Obviously, that's not going to be the case in India. And if we do leave out an all-rounder, then our batting becomes weaker. If we play an extra batter, then we don't have enough bowling resources. But I think it showed with someone like Kesh, what he can do is Keshav can bowl a lot of overs. So he can block up an end the whole day, similar to what Ashwin does for India. So it's just about finding the balance of which is going to be our best wicket-taking options, but also not just looking at it, that you definitely have to have an element of control in the subcontinent. You can't just have guys running in and bowling fast, but they're not hitting the stumps consistently. That's the key to bowling in the subcontinent. So those are the conversations that we'll make sure we'll try and see how we can improve on that. I thought in the second innings our fast bowlers were better than the first, a little bit wider in the first innings, but responded very well in the second. But yeah, to answer your question, it is something, and from a balance point of view, that Jock Cullis, when he left, he made a big hole in terms of the all-rounder position. But slowly but surely, we'll make sure we'll put someone in there.
Yeah, is there a case for promoting Kusami the way he batted in those innings? Is there a case for promoting him and creating a room for an additional bowler, a seamer perhaps?
There is a case. Before this Test match, I would have said probably no to you because I haven't seen enough of his batting, but the way that he batted in this Test match proved to everyone, not just to myself, that he can definitely play a number 7 batting position role in the subcontinent. And if you do that, obviously, then you can create one more opportunity to play someone else. But yeah, those are the things we'll talk about in the next couple of days.
But you've been a part of and also captained, I think, over a period, one of the most dominant Proteas teams around. This is a team that is evolving. What are the characteristics is that team built on, and where are we now?
Yeah, Test cricket, generally your experience counts for a lot. Experience is earned from playing the highest level for a period of time. I find that when you play T20 cricket or one-day cricket, that's when guys can generally come in and do well all the time, but your Test teams that are dominant and do well for a period of time have established combinations that they play, similar guys performing all the time, and one or two guys coming in and out. That generally stays the same, and that's when the Proteas team that was a strong one. There was a real similar look to it for a very, very long time. You had 3 fast bowlers playing all the time, 1 spinner, all the batters all the time. So in this new phase of a lot of guys coming in, it is a new phase, and you just got to give it some time. You got to be patient, because through this process you will get to that phase again where you get the consistency in your selection. You'll have batters that are mature, that have played 30, 40 tests, that know their game. And the only way that you get there is, unfortunately, by starting somewhere. And that's the process where we are right now. In a perfect world, you won't do it all at the same time, but that's just the nature of where we are. We've got a lot of bowlers. Morne Dale, those guys are finished. So now it's 2 new guys in the squad. Hash finishing, AB finishing. It's in a year's time, you've got two players with a lot of runs behind their names finishing. And it's going to take some time to fill those shoes. But we as leadership understand that it's important to just be patient with the guys, because they will come through again.
Last question, Aaron, and then last 2.
And one question was, what have you learned as a captain and as a person from this match?
A lot about angles. It's great. It's learning out there ball by ball. You just learn Indian conditions. Obviously, I've captained all around the world, but it's my first time captaining in India. So you just learn every session, every hour, every time someone's bowling, you learn about different angles, different field placements, where the ball tends to go a little bit more. You watch the opposition to try and see what they can do. You watch their bowling attack to see how they try and set up batters. So for me, it's just about consistently evolving and making sure that I can pick up 1 or 2 things. It is a tough place to, obviously, if you look at this Test match that we played now, it's a tough place to stop the runs scoring. It was quite a free-flowing match. There was a lot of sixes hit. So once that started, it was quite difficult to stop. Rohit made sure that he kept taking the fielders on the boundary on, and that's always tough to try and stop the game. But we'll have plans for the next game. It's about learning and making sure you just get a little bit better every time. As a person, no, I got tested here the last time as a person, so I learned a lot from that, from my character. And that's, I suppose, will be a big thing for us now as a team, is to make sure that we focus on how strong our heads can be. There's not much that you can do in the nets over the next 2 days to be strong in that next test match. It's about mentally how are we able to put away probably the last day that we didn't play well and make sure that we're refreshed and come back for the next test hungry to put in a big performance.
It's likely that you will encounter similar pitches, if not worse, regarding going forward.
Yep.
So, what does the top order do from a technical and mental point of view going forward next year? To give yourself the chance to get up to a big score?
Look, I think we've got a lot of confidence in our dressing room and belief because of what happened in the first innings. I agree with you. I do think that the pitches will probably take a bit more spin in the next 2 test matches. But Dean scored a great 160 in the first innings and Quint as well. A great combination of attack and defence. And I think all of us as a batting unit, certainly since the last time we were here, it was tough, but we grew as a batting unit in the experience that we got from that tour. So I'm hoping that lessons that we learned there will show us that we can still score runs and compete. And then anything's possible. You know, Keshav is a very, very good spinner. He probably wasn't at his best in the second innings, but I've got a lot of confidence in him, even on wickets that do offer a little bit more spin. He's just as good as any one of the spinners of the Indian team.
Last question.
Is there a thought within yourself about your batting position? Do you think number 5 is right for you in this team, or is there a thought that you might move up your?
Oh, it's something that's been spoken about for a while. You know, I started at 6. Then there was an opportunity to go, and I went to 3, obviously in Ash, and then 4, and then 5. It's about trying to find the balance of your batting lineup. The reason why I initially moved to 5 was probably more equipped to play both roles in the middle and in the beginning. You know, when you're batting with the tail, I can take the game on as well, similar with Quinton. So that was the reasoning for it, is to try and split up your experience and your younger players up. Obviously, Hash is gone now, so you've got 3 and 4. Temba has played, I think, 40-odd, 30-odd tests. But before it was Hash at 3, a younger batter at 4, their experience at 5, and then Quinny with his free flow at 6. So now that Hash is not there anymore, the reason why Temba is batting as 4 is because technically he's a very, very good player. His numbers, you'll be the first to say that his numbers probably doesn't back that up, but technically he's one of our better players, and we know that. We're just trying to give him that backing, that he deserves the confidence to bat in a big position, number 4, and we believe that he'll get the runs. I thought he was very unlucky this innings, getting 2 balls for the guy that's 2'1" to get 2 that stay a roll. It's very unlucky. So yeah, he's batting really well. He batted very well in the warm-up game. So yeah, I've got a lot of confidence in him that he'll come good. And even now, being the vice captain of the team, I think leadership will help him to get some more runs for the team, because he's going to be a big player for the Proteas moving forward.
Just talk us through the experience of your first test. The range of emotion must have been quite tumultuous.
Yeah, I must say, hell of an experience. Obviously, as my first test as a coach of the country, very, very special, and very feel honoured, to be in this position, and exciting as well to experience my first test in India, something that a similar experience to back in 2015 with the South African A team. Who were here in India, and it was a challenging tour, and great learnings from that. And obviously coming into this tour, it was I felt like I had some foundation to really lead this team, the way forward. So yeah, it's been very exciting, and unfortunately, obviously, the result of the first test it's not exactly what we hoped for, but like the skipper said, the mind, the confidence in the dressing room, the team spirit has been superb. So I'm sure that the boys will reflect well, and we'll be up for the next one.
I've spoken about character and new guys putting their hands up. Faces that have never been seen in India before. As a coach, I'll probably get the fact that they've done it the first time of asking, and rescue a situation that could have been maybe an innings and 200 runs or something?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm very proud of the boys in terms of how they responded after losing a toss. It can be something that can play around with the player's mind, but just the way they went about their business after a bit of a disappointing first innings, just the way we went about it in our batting, the boys showed a lot of character, a lot of determination to find the way of getting into a winning position, and we stretched ourselves as much as possible, and to actually reach 400 mark with different guys standing up and at different times and strong partnerships, which is something we've spoken about quite lengthy, and setting ourselves goals. That was very, very impressive. I mean, Dean Elgar and Quint they stood up, and that's something that we had hoped for, in the second innings, to ensure that we stretched the game as much as possible on day 5, and who knows what could have happened after tea, but those are the learnings that we're going to need to take forward as quickly as possible. And keep building on the team character, because I really strongly believe that the group of players that we have now, they can really produce something special in the future. Kumnandi kuba kule position le engikuyo. Ngiyazi ukuthi ama result a bit disappointing, mara le team lesinayo le ngiyathemba ukuthi izo produce ama result abonakalayo mesiya phambili. From mina ngijabule kakhulu kuba kule position le ukuthi ngikhona ukusebenza ne best talent la eSemzansi, and I look forward ukuthi kule future le Proteas, and I'm sure ukuthi le team le izoba special in the future, yeah.
Dean said there was some stern message from you guys on day 3 before you went out to bat. What was the talk? And I read that you like Pep Guardiola a lot. So what do you like from the coach, and what are the qualities that you like to imbibe from him? And what sort of team character? What are you going to implement in this team? What would be your hand in it? What do you aspire to be?
He's a special human being. He has produced special performances, and he has achieved quite a lot. But just in terms of his system and belief that he has in his system, and just the drive he has to improve systems and improve human beings to be better and better and all the time, and just his passion, just his total passion about the game, football, and that's something I resonate with. It's just it's in me. I feel I have so much to offer to the game, especially back in our country, and my biggest drive is just to make a difference in human beings, and right now I'm in this position, and I'm grateful of that, and that's something that I'll keep driving forward to ensure that the team keeps growing and keeps believing in themselves, and that they can achieve greater heights.
Coach, back in South Africa, there seems to be a lot of turmoil. In South Africa, on a financial level, a political level, there was a lot of noise around your interim appointment. How did you handle all of that coming into this series? And did it affect you at all?
No, not at all. I do understand the situation that we're in, but I've embraced the situation, and my biggest focus is to help this team create a strong foundation. We have a lot of work behind the scenes that we can help this team grow in the next 4 years. It's not just about the now. I think it's important that we do define the character of the team in the next couple of months, and which is something we're not going to hold back on. We just got to ensure that obviously the puzzle comes together, and we can put in some good performances that can produce good results for ourselves, which will help the team's confidence to keep growing. But ultimately, it's all about the big picture, and we need to be patient with it. And there will be some players that might take a bit of time to produce the type of performances we're looking for. But and I mean, this is a great place to see that what sort of a character of the team we have, and what sort of areas we need to really look at and look to rectify and improve, as quickly as possible.
Last two quick
Can
ones.
you give us an example of some of the building blocks that you put in place that were there before?
Well, to be honest, we're still unpacking. But one thing, I want this team to have is the courage in certain situations to really back themselves and not shy away. And I thought in the first innings the team really did that brilliantly. And it's just something that we just need to do better in the second innings and keep having that belief. And I mean, we're working on it. And like Faf has said, once we find the right combinations, it's not going to happen overnight. But we believe that we're on track, and we'll keep seeing different type of players as we go along. And but yeah, the biggest thing is courage. Yeah.
James, final question, and then I'll make a plan for the last two. No, final question, and then I'll make a plan for the last two guys afterwards.
Enoch, you were speaking of Pep Guardiola, and you use the word system a lot, and like you watch a Pep Guardiola team and you know there are going to be certain things that are always going to be in place, like they're going to look to hold possession, they're going to look to press. Are there certain things that are sort of non-negotiable for you as a coach that you want to stand on for your teams?
Yeah, I suppose, I mean, every coach that comes in has a different philosophy, and I'd like my philosophy to rub off strongly into the team in terms of being able to control sessions a lot longer for a period of time, and whether with a bat and a ball and also on the field. But also just to be a lot smarter and be very innovative in certain situations. Obviously, it is a bit difficult when, to look at football in terms of ball position, and you look at cricket. But in terms of cricket, I think it's going to be important that, if we can reach that 80% mark where we win control of the game and we're able to put ourselves more often in winning positions, and it's up to us as a team how often do you want to win those moments or those situations when we actually got to win the game. So it's about identifying those moments, and where maybe in the past certain moments we let ourselves down, and this time around we really want to thrive under those sort of moments. Those some call them key moments and significant moments, but we just got to ensure that our mastery of our processes is well in place, and the guys are really enjoying the process, through challenges, and we can keep finding ways of succeeding in every moment, so that, like I said, putting ourselves in winning positions. So it is going to be a bit of a process in terms of how we're going to train at practice, the mind, obviously the physical aspect, the emotional aspect. I mean, there's a lot of pressure, but already, there's certain elements we have tackled in terms of how we approach our training. And also the enjoyment factor of those challenges, and the boys have been great. They're really responding, and also just to get the guys thinking a lot sharper. That's going to be one of the biggest things, and I just look forward to how we're going to actually bounce back from this experience. I know it's a very, very short turnaround, but I strongly believe that we have it in ourselves to keep throwing the first punch and be in a position where we're actually controlling the game a lot longer. There were a glimpse of it. We just got to learn very, very quickly.